something. If you run a business, I need you to give me a call, 131873, because are you still finding it impossible to find staff? Now, I thought this was supposed to get better, right? And then I read in the paper, 36% of Australian occupations are currently short of workers. 36% of all Australian occupations are currently short of workers. Is this your experience? 131873, because in 5 years, we need to find 81,000 more teachers, 11,000 extra childcare workers, and we're facing in this country a skills shortage that has not been seen since the 60s. Half of all trades jobs need more people. We need 32,000 more Sparkies by 2030. Solicitors, accountants, sales and marketing managers all need people too. Now, I thought that the skills shortage was supposed to be solved by people coming in from overseas. Wasn't that the idea? We bring them in from overseas and they plug the holes that we need plugging here in Australia. Skilled migrants, bring them to Australia, bring them in record numbers and fill the gaps. Well, 500,000 people moved here in the last 12 months. 500,000. Yet we still have a skills shortage, supposedly. So if everyone's to be believed, and I don't know who to believe on this one, record immigration is not filling the jobs that we need filled in Australia. And then the flip side of record immigration is that the Grattan Institute estimates that by increasing the annual migrant intake by 40,000 a year, that lifts rents over a decade by a further 5%. We're on track not for 40,000 a year, but for 200,000 a year, and 200,000 people coming into Australia every year from overseas, that would lift rents by 25% over the decade. So what are we doing here? Why would we allow hundreds of thousands of immigrants into Australia to fill a skills gap that then doesn't get filled? In a country where we don't have enough houses for ourselves, let alone for the people that want to come here. So what's the answer? 131873. Well, here's my answer. Here's at least one that we should look at. Get people off the dole, get people off JobSeeker, and get them into jobs that we need people to do. And I reckon it's time to be a bit more hard-nosed about this than we have previously. Because in March, 925,000 people were on unemployment benefits. Let me say that again. 925,000 Australians were on unemployment benefits in March. That is almost 1 million people on the dole or on youth allowance. Now, you can't tell me that at least half of those people are not in a position to do at the very least part-time work. At least half. That's 500,000 people. It is a waste of human labour that we have right here in Australia. Instead, it is being supplemented by immigrants who push the price of rents and housing up. So unless you're disabled, you're in between jobs or have a terrible personal circumstances, then really, shouldn't you be working? Shouldn't you be? I'm sorry, but there is no way 1 million adult Australians on unemployment benefits all fall in the above categories of disabled in between jobs or terrible personal circumstances. No way all of them do. There's just no way in the world. And if those people don't want to do the certain types of jobs because they think it's beneath them or whatever, then tough. Don't give them the dole then. We can fix the skills shortage right here, right now, without plane loads of skilled migrants, because I genuinely have absolutely no idea how we've got record migration, supposedly all skilled migrants coming to Australia, yet we've also got a skills shortage we haven't seen since the 1960s. 131873. Do you own a business? What are you experiencing out there? Can you find staff? 0460 873 873. It's 3:20. I've just got a email here from Qantas. It says, like all airlines in Sydney, Qantas has had a number of services delayed and cancelled today due to strong winds. Customers will be contacted directly if their flight has been impacted and moved onto the next available flight. For more information about how we monitor and manage weather events, go to the Qantas website, 131873, 24 past 3, and it's time to make the switch to Australia's most recommended major business bank, CommBank. I've got Simon from Bonnyrigg who's called the open line, 131873. Simon, you run a small business, can't find staff.
Yes, Chris, that's right. Yeah, I can really feel that. I've been looking for staff for the last 18 months since COVID really finished off. There's no staff available. Every time you try and advertise to people, they don't answer your ads. If they do answer, they'll make an appointment to come in. They don't show up. You get people showing up, but they just put you. It's just too high. The wages they want is too high. The money, it's impossible. We get people coming through other industries, other agencies and stuff like that. And they've got all the qualifications, but no experience.
Hey Simon, what business do you run?
We run a tyre and mechanical business in Bonnyrigg.
Yeah.
And so we're looking for tradesmen in the automotive industry all the time. You've obviously got to be qualified because you're working on expensive cars, and so you need to be qualified. And we get people with the qualifications, but we've got no experience. So how do you get your qualifications? And so, we get it from overseas and they come in, but we cannot work with it. They need experience. And I've had guys coming from the government agencies from the employment stuff. They just come in, get a name ticked off the list, and
they've got no interest in taking the job.
They've got no interest in taking the job. They just want to get a name ticked off, and it's a shame because there's a shortage of skilled labourers out there. I've actually gone back to work myself. I was like semi-retired, doing other things. And I've got forced to come back and help the guys in my workshop to get the business running again.
Good on you, Simon. I appreciate your call, mate. Thanks so much. 131873. Shane's in Penrith. G'day, Shane.
Hey, Chris. How are you?
Good, thank you. You're got the same deal, right?
Same deal. Same as the last caller. Just really, it's the dollar that's the problem. I've interviewed 10 people a week. Well, sorry, about more than 10 apply. Not even one will show up a week. They waste pretty much every afternoon of my day by not showing up. All they want to know is where my address is and what my company name is, just so they can do the tick-off. I would waste at least an hour and a half every afternoon on filling in people's goals.
Mm-hmm. So Shane, you run a scaffolding business, and I was speaking to a gentleman who doesn't live too far away from me, runs a coffee shop. He said the same thing. He goes, I get all these applications and they just ask business name. I give them, come in on, 2:00 on Thursday afternoon and no one shows up. Is that what happens to you?
Yeah. As soon as you give them the business name and the address, they don't show up.